Welcome back to On the Volley. As you can see, I'm here outside the Shamrock Irish pub, okay, in the centre of Rome, just round the corner from the Colosseum. It's a fucking gorgeous day out here in Rome today. For some, it may be a little bit too hot. For me, oh, I'm used to it, bro. I'm used to it. Anyway, look, I'm here today to talk about that man, Ange Postecoglou. And let's be honest, it's been quiet on the Ange front. You know, the first rumours and speculations that came out was about Saudi Arabia and the MLS in America, and nothing panned out from that. Again, as I said, rumours and speculation. I don't normally like to talk about rumours and speculation, but in Ange's case, I just felt that you had to. It's been really quiet on that front for quite a while now. Every day I'd be checking up on news about Ange, and the only thing that I saw was, you know, stories that were rehashed, basically. And there was no way, bloody hell, this music's fucking loud, isn't it? Oh, is it a fucking disco? It must have been as old as me. Anyway, I don't like doing videos and rehashing stuff. You know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. You know, each to their own. I'm not criticising anyone. But now, finally, some news has come out. Again, rumours and speculation. Now, the news is that Nottingham Forest, Evangelos Marinakis, I hope I've pronounced that right, who's the owner of Nottingham Forest, apparently, rumour has it, he's held informal talks with Ange. Now, Ange's camp have come out and said there's been no formal talks. Well, obviously not, if it's informal. You know, when I heard this, I think to myself, before I read why, I'm thinking, you know, must be fake news, because Nuno has done well for Forest. So I'm thinking to myself, why would you want to get rid of a manager that has taken Forest so far? Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. But apparently, and again, this is what has come out, this is what, you know, I've heard. The relationship between Nuno and Evangelos Marinakis, if that's the right pronunciation, again, apologies if it's not, has basically broken down. Now, Nuno came out and said, again, this is what I've read, that last season their relationship was fine, they had a good relationship, but for some reason, this season, it's not the same. So there are things, you know, there's trouble in their camp. There are disagreements, they're not seeing eye to eye. And I think Edu may have played a part in that. Again, this is just me speculating. I just can't understand how it could go from one to another. Is it because of the lack of transfers? Look, I don't know. I don't follow Forest. I haven't really read anything on them, so I don't know what's happening. I don't know anything about players which they've sold or players which they've brought in. And to be totally honest, it doesn't bother me. I'm not going to go in and do, you know, I'm not going to go in and just, like, you know, study everything to get all the information. I don't need it. All I need is what I have at the moment, okay, which is the news that there is some problems, allegedly, you know, rumour has, and that Evangelos apparently has sounded Ange Postecoglou out in case they do sack Nuno. Now look, let's not forget something, yeah? Evangelos is Greek, if I'm not mistaken. The name says it all. And so he knows Ange, or knows about Ange, I should say. Ange, although he's Australian, he is of Greek heritage. Now, I remember the first video I ever done on Ange Postecoglou, when he moved to Celtic and no one knew who he was or anything about him. I remember I got about 13,000 views on that, but I also got fucking criticised big time because I made the mistake of saying that Ange was Greek. And I got crucified by the Australians. They all, loads of comments say he's not Greek, he's Australian because he'd lived there from the age of 5. And I had to backtrack and apologize for my mistake. But take nothing away from the fact that he does have Greek heritage because he was born in Greece. So there is that connection. Is it relevant? Who knows? What is relevant is that Evangelos has studied, knows Ange's history, and if Nuno was to be sacked, then Ange is one of the names that has been chucked into the bag, if you like, yeah? They're also talking about Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers at the moment, he's having a few problems. Well, allegedly, rumour has it, okay, he's a little bit dissatisfied with Celtic and the transfers, so on and so forth. He's in his last season of his contract there. And so, rumour has it, again, let's talk about it, rumours and speculation. So, take it for what it is, that Ange could return to Celtic. Me personally, I don't see it. I honestly don't see it. He's been there, he's done it. If Ange was to go back to Celtic, I think it'd be at the end of his career, not now. I've said this before, Ange still has unfinished business in the Premier League. He still has a lot to prove. So my money is Ange going back into the Premier League. I think there's also another team out there, whether Ange would be interested or not, I don't know, and that's West Ham, because Graham Potter is under some serious pressure. And to be totally honest, I would have put my money on Graham Potter being the first Premier League manager to be sacked. This Nuno news has just come out of the blue. I mean, it's taken me, it was a shock, because who would have guessed it? Again, look, it's still rumours and speculation, okay? There's nothing concrete there. I hate to talk about rumours and speculation when it comes to rumours and speculation, I suppose, yeah? And there's nothing concrete. But it's Ange Postecoglou, and I think we all do believe that at some stage he's going to come back into the Premier League. Again, I say because he has a lot to prove, he's got unfinished business, so it's going to happen. It's just a matter of which team. He's had a little bit of a break up until now. I remember in one of my last videos on Ange, or the last video on Ange, I thought it'd be like October, November. That could still be the case. Nuno might still be given a bit of time, and if there are disagreements in the camp, maybe they can iron them out, who knows. The results that Forest achieve will play a big part in it. And let's not forget, Forest are in the Europa League. So that in itself is another incentive if Ange was to be offered the position, okay, to manage Nottingham Forest. Look, if Ange was offered the choice between Nottingham Forest and West Ham, come on. I think he'd choose Nottingham Forest. And let's not forget the history of Nottingham Forest, yeah? Okay, the history in Europe. The history of the fact that Brian Clough, one of the best English managers, in my opinion, okay, it's a no-brainer, isn't it, really? Look, I'm an Eastender, so I've got a spot in my heart for West Ham, even though I'm not a Hammer, I'm not a West Ham supporter. I do have a place in my heart for them. I do want to see them doing well, but I can't say, let's be honest, I can't see Ange going there if there's a choice between the two. Look, it's going to be interesting to see. Will he choose one of those two? Or will Ange wait? Because there's always another option. There's always another option. And one of those options could be in the future. Look, I'm not going to say Man City, even though Man City had a bad season last season. You know, if they have a bad season this season, will Pep stay or will he go? Has Pep lost it? That's the question. You know, has he lost that? Does he need to take a break and come back? Look, it's all up in the air at the moment. All I do know is that wherever Ange goes in the Premier League, it will be, I'm pretty sure of that, he has something to prove. He has unfinished business, and he'll go there and he'll do what needs to be done. That's all I've got to say. Look, me Shah, I'm out.